Hi, this is Stacia, and I wanted to share a game that I played at the Parma Chess Club this past Tuesday um, in January 2019. And it's the first month that I've been playing 1E4, so I thought I would share one of my 1E4 games. And this was, in fact, the third game that I played that night. Um, And I think I'll put it up on the screen. I think Greg is rated something like 1700, and my current rating is a little low for me right now, about 1650, I want to say. All right, but let's have a look at this game because it is a pretty interesting one. And as always, I feel there's a lot to learn from it. So I went 1E4, exclam question mark. E5 was played, and now F4. And it's funny because Greg is an opponent who will actually kind of talk during the game. And at the Parma Chess Club, it's a little more casual than a lot of places, even though this is rated chess. And he was mumbling about how, oh, I should have looked at this King's Gambit line before we played. And in truth, we actually played a game just a week earlier where he played the same line. So I'll kind of say when it deviates from our previous game. He went bishop c5 here, and I went knight f3. I just don't want to allow queen h4 check, although I think sometimes you can allow it. Plus I'm attacking the pawn. Okay, and he goes d6. And this is the King's Gambit declined classical setup. So lucky for me last time, I didn't know what I was doing, but this time, because of that game, I had studied the King's Gambit declined. So I think in the last game, I played some really aggressive move like d4 here, which is a bad move. And I had a bad game and lost to him. But this game, I knew what I was doing in the opening slightly more, although I'm still kind of clueless. All right, and I played the move bishop c4 here. Now, this is actually not theory, as far as I can tell. And Greg played bishop g4. And so we are out of book here. Now, I don't know about bishop g4. And so I want to talk about this for a second. It's probably okay, but I really like the move knight f6 here. And the reason is it's kind of annoying for me because he would be attacking my e-pawn, and I'd probably play like knight c3 to defend, and then he's ready to castle, and there would be no attack or anything. It would just be a game of chess. Bishop g4, though, pins my knight, but I'm not sure that I really care. I'm not going for d4, and I can still take this pawn and get an exchange, so I don't know that I really mind this move that much. So, okay, here I go knight c3. This is a move that I learned from my study because two ideas for white are to get rid of this annoying bishop. Notice that I cannot castle as long as this bishop is here. So it's pretty annoying. One idea is to go c3 followed by a d4 to push him out. And another thing is what I did in the game, and I went knight c3. And my idea is that I'm threatening knight a4 right now, and that will give me the bishop pair. So I actually think a6 is a good move here, even though the computer doesn't suggest it. Because after a6, the bishop will tuck itself here, where I'll have to further deal with it and probably do something like d3 and queen here and bishop here so that I could finally trade it off. But those kinds of plans take time, so I actually think I think it's annoying if black were to do that. All right, but okay. And hopefully Greg doesn't watch this video because I'll be helping him. That's okay. I want to improve and play good. Now, now black should probably go knight f6 again. But Greg played, like I was saying, knight f6 or maybe a6. But he played knight e7. And this is, in fact, a blunder. And I recognize during the game that this is not correct. And see, he's playing this position as if it was a d-pawn game. But this is not a d-pawn game. This is a king's gambit. And because of that, there are threats on f7. Notice that my bishop is lined up with the f7 square. And also my knight is kind of like ready to jump in. And because of that, I can actually play this. So I played it. Bishop takes f7 check. And so, yeah, I was like, I think you messed up. He was talking to me. And he was like, no, I don't think so, and this and that. And I was like, well, I have bishop takes f7. I took it. And he was like, oh, but I don't have to take it. And he played here. And then I was like, well, can't I just retreat? And I won a nice pawn and took his castling rights. I didn't say that out loud, but I think now it's just a really nice position for white. Plus, this bishop is really good on b3. You know, notice this is rather unpleasant. So, all right, but it's still a game. He brought his knight in. Notice this knight can get really good really fast by entering into d4. So here I continue with my plan, and I went knight a4. Maybe better, according to the computer, is to take e5. I kind of like this idea. I think it's just to, well, number one, he cannot take back with a knight because of d4. Notice the fork. So that's one reason. But I think an even better reason to play this is that it opens up the f file, and I'm going to castle at some point, and that's going to be really nice for my rook. So I'm pretty sure that's why the computer likes it, and that's an idea I'm going to have to remember. Okay, but I played knight a4. This isn't bad, because I'm going to get rid of this annoying bishop, and he cannot play a6 now. It'd be too late. So he jumped in, and I went ahead with my idea to take the bishop. And this is actually a mistake, though. White has a much better move here, and if you'd like to pause your video, go ahead and do so now. Yeah, I missed this fun little tactic. Knight takes d4. And the point is that I can sack my queen because I'm going to get it right back. Knight e6 check, king here, knight here. And then let's say, after this, white won a piece, So yeah, I need to get better at tactics. But that's kind of why I'm playing this kind of stuff. So the reason this works is because when I play knight takes d4, it's a discovery on the bishop, and I also just won a piece. So notice I took a knight, he takes my queen, I get his queen, but now he can't win his knight back. So yeah, nice little tactic there. That was really interesting. All right, but I played knight takes c5, and notice I am threatening this again. Well, I guess the bishop's covering it right now. But he took here. Now knight takes d4 would work again. Same tactic. But instead I went castles. So I was a little worried about stuff where, well, I'll show you exactly what I was worried about. Let's say I play something else like d3. I was worried about something like this. I guess computer has better ideas, I'm seeing. But I don't like this move. Oh, actually, I have f5 here. I missed that. Now the bishop's trapped. Pretty interesting. Wow. And also, let's look at the computer line. It wants to take with the bishop, probably because of that very idea, it getting trapped. Yeah, when I take this way, knight g6. So I guess it's okay for black to play this way. It's +1 for white still, but I think it's just because I'm up a pawn. But let's continue, shall we? So I castled here because I wanted my rook defending the knight, and of course get my king safe. And here I think Greg went wrong because I do like this knight g6 move. I was a little worried about it, and not just because he can then maybe take on f4, but because it would open the queen up to come in. And notice, he is attacking this knight twice, so I actually think black might be able to stir up some trouble on the king's side. It looks a little dangerous to me. And I still have some untangling to do. I need to play d3, get my bishop out and stuff. My knight's pinned, So, but he didn't play this way. He actually took this bishop. I do understand why he did it. He didn't like this bishop bearing down on his king's side, which is very shaky. He's probably dying to get off the f-file. Maybe this way's better though. So he took, but this does open up my rook, which was not previously developed. So that's actually good for me. And that was a really strong knight on d4. It was very strong and powerful. So I don't know that he has any other great pieces right now. And after this, he went king g8. So it's pretty clear he just wanted to get rid of that bishop so he could play king g8. But I don't think this is a good move either because, I guess he's planning h5 and rook h6 and develop his rook this way. But it just seems slow and cumbersome to me. So I don't know if I like that plan for him. And I think knight takes bishop was a bad idea. All right, so after king g8, I just felt like I have a good position now. I'm up a pawn, and I really could just develop and take it from there. He also has an isolated pawn and double pawns here. So, okay. So I played the move d3, which is fine. And now h5, like I was saying, the rook needs to develop somehow and get into the game. And now I played the move h3. Now the computer says play f5. And I do like that a lot. Look at this bishop. I mean, he's pretty much going to have to trade off now. But instead I went h3, which I thought was okay. The reason is I don't care if he trades off, and he doesn't have good places to go. If he goes to e6, which looks kind of desirable, then I'll play f5. So he dropped back to d7. But now I have this move, knight takes e5. And I think here, white's just much better now and winning. So I'm not going to deeply look at the rest of the game, although I do want to just kind of go through it so you can see what happened here. And it's kind of nice. I don't have such clean games like this normally, but let's look at how it continued. Rook h6. Now the problem with developing the rook this way is it's being x-rayed by my bishop. So I played f5, discovery on the rook right away, and he must not have seen it. Bishop b5, I took the rook. Oh, I think he did see it. He planned this, queen d4 check. I have to move, and he does pick up my knight. But now I can just move my bishop with tempo. So I got a rook for a knight. That's still very good for me. Computer says +7 now, which pretty much what it felt like during the game too. I just thought as long as I don't mess up horribly or get in time pressure, I should win this, I hope. All right, and he grabbed this. It's greedy, but what can black really do here? I don't know. I grabbed this pawn. Queen f6, trying to defend the king, I guess. And then I played queen takes h5. He came in like this. That's an awkward move. And I drop back to e2 because now my plan is to push these pawns. Plus, I thought once that pawn goes there, maybe I could just station my bishop here. That'd be kind of nice. Okay, knight c6. And e5. Why not? Come on, computer. Show us e5. There we go. So e5, and now my pawns are very strong. Queen h4, I mean, okay. f6. So this is a pawn break, and it's going to create a very strong pass pawn. He went bishop f7, but now I can just push e6. My pawns are very well supported. Bishop, let's see. He went, oh, I like bishop h5, even though it probably doesn't even matter, though. He went rook e8, but now I could just take e takes f7 check. And after the king takes, I actually have this move. F takes g7 check. And now he's going to lose his rook as well and get mated, basically. There's really just no place to go. If he goes here, I can just take this, and the computer calls for a mate in 7. So there you go. That was my first win over the board with the King's Gambit, so I feel good about that. I've been expecting to, lose my games due to new openings, and it's kind of true, but not for the reason I thought. I'm actually playing the openings okay usually, so I'm not getting crushed, but I'm taking more time in the opening and the early middle game when I used to be able to play the first 12 moves of theory without thinking much. So it's killing me on the clock more. But I can live with that, and I do think I will get my rating up again. But I'm going to be patient and just study and learn and try to understand chess better, not worry about my rating so much. And then maybe make a run for 1900 by the end of the year. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I'd like to just hit the high points of this game, as I often do. So I'm going to turn off the computer engine. Okay, so we had a King's Gambit declined to classical. And yeah, this bishop move actually isn't a book move. So next time, if I want to play like this, I could play knight c3 and then bishop c4. And then you're still in theory that way. So that's my opening improvement. Bishop g4, knight c3. I like this idea. And knight e7, a blunder, allowing check. Doesn't take it. Bishop comes back. So I'm glad that I didn't miss this tactic, because I often do miss stuff like that. Okay, and but here I missed a tactic. So knight takes d4. This would have been a way to maybe force resignation so early. So I do want to be looking out for stuff like this. It's kind of funny, but in e4 openings, it's like there's these winning tactics on like move 8 and 9 or even move 4. And like, I'm not accustomed to that. In d4 openings, it's usually just everything solid, and then there might be tactics in the middle game, but they usually don't come till later. So this is changing the way I think about chess, that's for sure. Yes, I missed this nice little thing. But okay, I took the bishop. I'm still okay here. And I think his big mistake of the game, aside from blundering bishop takes f7, was this move. Knight takes b3 is probably just wrong. Yeah, I missed f5 blocking the bishop. So this is a new idea for me that I'm going to keep in mind when I play the King's Gambit. And okay, the rest of the game's pretty smooth. So I do want to thank you for watching my video. And I am by no means an expert at the King's Gambit. So if any of you guys see some stuff that I missed, please let me know. I'd love to improve at this more and especially learn ideas that are common that I don't really know yet. So if you saw anything like that in this game, please do let me know, and I will be eternally grateful. Okay, well, anyway, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.